Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good.
Hey, buddy.
Aww. He's so excited. Good boy.
What he's been doing?
He's been doing good. I've gotten him less reactive when guarding his food now, which is good. In his crate, I'll feed him, and then when the other pups come nearby, I'll just kind of push them away, and so he doesn't feel the need to look up or growl or react. So he's more comfortable eating around others now. He's better at sharing his toys with his friend. With the other pups that he's not as comfortable with, I just ask him to leave it and he'll drop it. So just more so having him listen to me and avoid the confrontation overall. This is really good. The main things are going to be just the fact that, like, if you do leave him, I'd recommend leaving him in a place that either doesn't have another pup, or at least just with me or something, just because of the fact that, like, he was very insecure with just being around others. You know, I guess because of the short amount of time that he was with your dad. So it'd be really good to not put him in an environment like that again, because it was very detrimental. But all it does take is a good environment, you know, a good, safe, positive, fun environment, and then he's back to being more level, you know, less on edge, less guarded, less reactive, all that good stuff. Hi.
In the public in general, the crowded place. I mean, I saw that you doing everything. You work on it.
He's doing well. He's just very excited. He just wants to meet everybody, even with the other dogs, even with the other pups. He just is crying more so because he wants to engage, you know. That's why it's good to have the muzzle on, because even in that social session, he wasn't reactive until the other dog was, you know what I mean? So, and if the other dog, you know, finds his approach too intense or something like that, then he might take it the wrong way, because he's still lacking in some of those social skills. But if he's, like I said, if he's meeting a pup that is friendly or playful, like his friend, or also unsure and not reactive, then he does much better, you know. But if he runs into another dog that is maybe also intense and under socialized and reactive, then that would definitely not be the best mix. Good boy. See, he just wants to kind of meet everybody. Right? So
Like when I took him to a couple of hikes with me, and some people approach him, and he kind of nervous and back up, you know, and kind of growling at him.
so usually
Still doing that.
no, but the main thing with him is to kind of let him do the approaching, right? That lets you know whether or not he's comfortable or unsure of somebody in the first place. Whereas, and it doesn't put any pressure on him. Whereas if somebody else approaches him to say hi and he doesn't know them, then he feels the need to kind of make space or buy himself some time by, like, growling or barking at them. All those things to just kind of make himself some more room to get comfortable with the situation or with the person. Well, like a simple session like this, you do a combination of, you know, a little bit of the leash work, but mostly just getting him used to seeing people and redirecting. Good boy. Good job, big guy.
There's some people that go past him directly, like they do the opposite of like me, like you know, past you, and he kind of like bike up and he's nervous.
Yeah. So especially like if it's a very crowded space, there's a lot of people, or they're in like close proximity. If he's not used to it, it could just make him uncomfortable. And generally, anything that makes a dog uncomfortable will push them more into that fight or flight scenario. Right? So that's why at first we're just kind of starting off really far away from everybody, not really getting too close with interactions in aisles or anything. Like with this gentleman coming down here, I'm just gonna move over to the side, let him kind of go by. I want him to kind of get used to and smell and explore things, but not pull too hard, right? We don't want to completely forego any leash manners right now, but at the same time, I'd rather him kind of explore and look around to help distract him with things, naturally, as opposed to him just focusing on me. But at the same time, if he starts pulling too hard, he'll just stop, change direction, ask for his name, something like that. That way he's not just constantly plowing forward. Good boy. And try to get him used to being able to smell and explore everything, but in our general area. Yeah, like that, right? Good boy. See a little bit of like the nervousness when he kind of freezes, his ears are down a little bit, his tail stops wagging. These are all little things that you can, when you're paying attention to him in these social situations, that can kind of foreshadow how he's going to do in a particular event if it escalates.
I really feel good about when you rehearse the exercise that you do with a small dog.
Mm-hmm.
You got into some of the, the fight, probably even the fight, but it's just a snap a lot with that. Because so we had a Chihuahua in our neighborhood, and she's really not that friendly. So he's trying to approach her, and she's snapping.
That's about right.
And then he backed up for a little bit, and then the owner tried to say hi to him, and then she went up to him the second time. That's why he went back.
No.
After.
Good boy. Yeah, it's good in scenarios when he's meeting a new pup, especially if they're not the friendliest, to have his muzzle on so that way he can get used to them, kind of like with Joey, safely in that kind of close environment when it's a little bit more intimate. But luckily he's good natured, yeah. But it's just when he gets unsure or something that it's a little much. It's right here. Good boy. And that's all I'm looking for, is when he starts pulling to get to something interesting, I just use the leash as a boundary so he can't continue, but he has to kind of check in with me first. Yeah. This way, big guy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Good boy. All right. And just
I live in Harrisonburg, it's kind of very crowded place, just within the city.
yeah, it can be a lot. I would start in like social times when it's a little bit slower outside, either like really late at night or during the morning times. So that way he can get used to just the environment with less people around, like a Tuesday morning or something like that. And then eventually build up to like a Friday night when it's going to be super crowded. We're going to start doing that kind of work hopefully next week if this weather is not too bad. Just downtown, you'll kind of see what I mean. Just kind of really getting him used to things first, and then adding on things that might additionally stress him out or overwork him or overexcite him too, right? So because he gets very interested, he starts pulling more, he wants to see everybody, and then if you have everybody here and here and here, he's going to start going off all over the place as well. So then you're going to have to start really getting him to focus on you more to keep him from doing that. Joker. Right? Hi, how you doing? Good boy. Good boy, yes, thank you. All right, so he didn't listen right away, but he listened after he passed, right? We want to try to get him to listen even when he's fixated or focused on somebody first, right? So that way he's not lunging at somebody or a kid or something because he's overly excited. We want him to check in with us first, always, and then we initiate with him, right? So even if he's interested in something, he learns to redirect over here. And you can always tell, you know, when he's interested because he'll be more excited, he'll start pulling towards them. And then you can tell when he's a little bit interested but maybe unsure because he'll just stay still and check it out, or he'll start moving away, right, and avoiding. So that's why just when I'm out with him in these social situations, I'm not worried too much about, you know, perfect leash control or anything right now, because I want him to kind of move around a little bit so I can see how he's feeling about things. Right? There you go. Good boy. Hi. Hi. Yeah. Good boy. Right. I'm gonna keep going a little bit. Hi. You want to say hi? Good boy, Joker. Good boy. Good. Come here, Joker. This way. Let's let him in first. Good boy.
Being afraid or anything.
Right. Good boy. There you go. So at least he checked in. I would prefer him to check in first, but that's okay. You know, he's starting to kind of get it, right? And that's where like the leash pressure comes into play. If he's stuck, he needs to kind of recognize that and then look back to see why, right? As opposed to just continuing to pull towards what he wants. Yes, good boy.
Maybe so. Can I have?
Yeah, you can say hi.
You're so sweet.
Good boy. Oh, good boy. He likes you.
Is he a pit bull? Yeah. You are so sweet.
Good boy.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you. Good boy. Come. Good. Good boy.
When I came back from the point from overseas, I just seen him, man, like fixated.
Right?
It's friendly, huh?
Yeah. Joker. Yes, good boy. There you go. Good. So that's kind of the practice we want, right? Because sometimes people are allergic, sometimes people might be afraid of dogs, things like that. So that's why, even though he might be friendly too and be going towards somebody, we still want him to check in with us first. That's all. So a lot of that right now is just controlling the length of the leash, where we stand, you know, so that way he can't get into that personal space with somebody else, but still kind of giving him enough leeway that I can see that he's, you know, clearly interested.
It's awesome to see him like very happy.
Joker. Yes, good boy. There we go. Good.
So glad to see him like very happy again. We love you.
How you doing? Joker. Good. Good boy.
Loving people. He used to be like this. It's just. No.
He definitely backslid a little bit. Good boy, yes. Right. So a lot of his stay this time has almost been just more like reconditioning again than anything else. But you know, it's okay. Good boy. Yes, good boy. Very good. Yes.
It's awesome to see him like this again.
Mhm.
Being happy, relaxed.
Joker, come here. Good boy. Good listen.
Is he okay?
Yeah, he's friendly.
All right.
Do you want to say hi?
Ja, hi Baby.
Oh,
Hi
good
Baby.
boy.
Oh, tust du mich schlecken?
boy.
Bist du ein Schlecker?
Good
Bist du
Oh.
ein guter Hund?
Oh, good
Ja,
boy.
Du bist ein
Big hugs.
guter Hund.
Oh.
Ein ganz braver Hund bist du. Du bist ein schöner Hund. Schnieß. Schnieß. Machst du Schnieß, kleiner Junge?
What language is that?
German.
Oh, cool.
I'm German. Du bist ein guter Hund. He's a pretty color. You are training him?
Yeah.
He says, yeah, he see. Was hast du? Ja, was
Good
hast
boy.
du denn? Ja, guter Hund.
Good boy.
How old is he?
It's about
4 months? 9 or years, I would say. He's
Right. So you see how like his body kind of like stiffens up. Either he's excited but doesn't know, right? Might not have seen as many children. Good boy. So especially when you're still out socializing him, it's going to be even more important that like you know more about his body behaviors and mannerisms and everything before you know, any interactions at all, you know. So especially with like kids, I'd probably just put the muzzle on, and then if he got close, you know, see how he is. Is he nice and loose in his body? Is he still kind of happy, or is he kind of more frozen again? Is he kind of unsure, right? Because if he's unsure and then they approach, that's usually when you're gonna get those bad reactions, right? Good boy. And that's, you know, it's pretty normal for dogs in general. We see kids and people as the same thing, just younger, but dogs usually see them as a completely different entity, right? They're smaller, they're usually louder, they have more like awkward movements or rapid movements. So they're almost a completely different thing. Especially if he's not used to kids, then it can be something kind of scary, right? And then you kind of cross that line. If he's unsure of something or afraid of something, that's when you might get those negative reactions, right? Good boy.
It's awesome to see him like this, being outside of public and being relaxing and not afraid of anything.
He's doing good. Oh yes, I know. We're talking about you. Right? Good boy. Let's see. Hopefully it's not raining too bad. I wanted to either walk down to the pet store or we might have to drive. Let's see how it is. Have a good one. Yeah. Let's see. I don't know. That doesn't look too bad. This place is pretty good. It's not, you know, it's not as busy as downtown, but sometimes, especially on the weekends, near the Target and the Old Navy and stuff, TJ Maxx gets pretty busy. I'm getting a little bit more social outdoor work walking around.
I took him to a hike and sometimes there's scared people on the way passing us, like on the walk. So and then kind of like start walking. I feel like it's just nervousness.
Yeah.
All that just being just
It also might be the fact that they're approaching towards him,
right.
as opposed to him being able to, like I said, kind of go towards them.
Right.
And also, sometimes when people go hiking or backpacking, they have more gear on them, or like the hiking sticks, right? Or the walking sticks or whatever they're called. So sometimes those things, because he might not be familiar with them, would cause him also to be unsure.
Okay.
Well, there's a bunch of different reasons why. What will usually help is just giving him time, maybe behind them or away from them when he's nice and calm, and kind of slowly come up and kind of smell them and things like that. Oh, power outage. I wonder how much of the power outage actually affects the stores here. Did not know that. Uh-oh. Well,
How are we doing with the other pup at home?
oh, he's doing great.
Is it
He
not-
said he only got into that one conflict with Fiona with the toy, and that's just because she's naturally growly too when she wants to play. And he took offense to that or got scared and then overreacted.
Yeah.
So I had to break that up with him. But with his friend who is more like submissive, he'll growl and then the other dog will move away, right? So there's not less conflict there for him, right? But because I don't want him to guard something and take advantage of that dog, what then I'll do is I'll correct him for guarding a toy, and then I'll take his toy and I'll give it to the other dog, and then I'll give him a different toy, right? So teaching him to share and not guard resources. You just want to keep in mind, like, you should be the only person in charge of the resources, right? Whether that's water, food, toys, as long as you're in charge, then there's a lot less chance for conflicts. Whereas if they take it among themselves to deem who gets what, that's when the problems start to come up.
I mean, a lot of time conflicts happen when I'm not there. It was not under my eye. So he knows his place. So whenever I walk the other pup that we have in the home right now, they fine. Like I correct him, and
He
knows
listens
his
good,
place.
yeah.
But without my supervision, he's kind of causing a rise.
Well, that store had power, so maybe it's just random stores.
But I'm happy to see him that we're here.
Yeah.
Happy. Hopefully you can help him a little bit more. Keep reinforce whatever you have been learning.
Yeah, a lot of it is just slowly building up the social skills. We're going to probably concentrate a little bit more on the leash work too this week, now that he's getting past the guarding and things like that. Good boy, this way. All right, clean jumpy. Joker. Yes, good boy. The goal is to do that often enough, which can be a lot, to get him to do it himself, right? When he sees somebody and starts going, feels the pressure on the leash, turn around and check back in, as opposed to waiting to be prompted. But that, that can take a while if he is capable of doing it, that's all. But so long as you're consistent, then that helps too.
Yeah, I mean, now me and him having a play. We're having a play play right now. So I want to focus more on him, develop his skills. more
Yeah.
often, it should be great.
Just getting him out and about, it's like slowly expanding his social circle will help. What's that, bud? Ooh. Alright, so what we'll do before we go in there, put on the muzzle in case there are any pups in close vicinity. And then I also have an anti-bark collar too. And that's just to discourage him barking, scaring anybody or any pups or anything. And I know, big guy. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put that on him. And this way it'll automatically correct him for barking, either out of his excitement or his uncertainty, because we need him at that point to snap out of it and refocus back onto us. There we go. And it's automatic, so that way we don't have to concentrate on that, because we should be concentrating on making sure he's set up for a situation, you know, for success. Making sure, you know, like that pup right there should go in. I'm gonna wait for them to come out first. Right? See how excited he is? I know, bud. Hold on. Joker. Wait. Good boy. Right? When we ask him to wait, you know, we give him the command, we help him out, but then we want to make sure that he's doing it on his own. Good boy. You can kind of see how excited he was there. If he was too excited or approached too quickly, it might have startled the other pup or the other owner, things like that. Or the other dog might not be as friendly also. So because I don't know the other dog, I'd rather be on the safer side with introductions, right? And putting on the muzzle and things like that. But once they get a chance to meet and I see that they're okay, then you can usually just take off the muzzle. It's not a big deal. Hi, how you doing? Good boy. I know. Right? And so now, because he's excited from that situation, he's going to carry on pulling right into the store. So that's why it's important to have plenty of time in between these kind of events for him to actually settle down. So that's why places like downtown or a busy street or something like that is going to be harder, because you're not going to have like the downtime that he needs to kind of reset, right? If he gets excited and then he sees something else and he gets more excited, you know, you could have that that kind of snowball effect, the opposite effect, where he just gets continuously amped up and starts pulling more and everything. Good boy. Good boy. Right. So same thing, even though he's just excited pulling forward, I'm not going to let him continue lunging forward like that on the leash, because that would promote those bad leash manners. And you're just going to hard stop, give him a second to either redirect or settle in or guide him. Good boy. What do you think of the kitties, huh? He almost looks scared of that orange one. What's up, bud? What's up, bud? Good boy. Alright, come on, big guy. Alright. And that's where it's going to be important that you kind of either, you know, get like a training vest for him or just be more vocal, telling him, you know, telling people how he is, especially when he has the muzzle on, because he's still the same, you know, friendly guy and he'll want to meet people, but now the perception is going to change, right? So you're gonna have to be even more so like an ambassador for him, for people and things like that. Is that it's there just as a safety net, but they usually come with negative connotations, and then you add on to the fact that he's also, you know, a pit bull. So he's already on the back foot for that scenario as well for some people. Good news is like the almost the same amount of people that are apprehensive of them, there's that crowd that love them, you know. And those are always good people for him to meet as well. Oh boy.
I remember back in the day, we used to walk about a best without any problem.
Yeah. Good boy. I was hoping for Sunday maybe we'd get some more people in here. Well, let's see. Good boy. Say hi, how you doing? Is he friendly?
Yes.
Say hi. Sorry, he's very excited.
That's okay.
Easy, Joker. Easy.
He's just shy, though.
Oh, see, she's shy. You're not helping. There you go. I know. You want to say hi. She's shy. There you go. Oh, see, you're being too much. Nah, that's okay. Good boy, Joker. There you go. He's very excited. Sorry. Good boy. That was good. So that was a good correction there, right, from his social skills. Like, he's being too much because he just wants to meet. She kind of give him a little bit of that snarl, be like, hey, take it easy. And he listened instead of overreacting. So that's perfect. He's working on his social skills. Good boy. Thank you, guys. Good boy. Good job. Good boy.
Yeah, that's the only problem. When you're approaching too quick, then other popping in
And that's just him missing out on a lot of that stuff when he was probably younger.
Baby.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi, sweet, sweet.
Say hi. Good boy.
Hi, baby.
Good job, big guy. You know, a lot of that like impulse control work, very much so like a puppy. You know, you just see something, gets excited, and wants to go, go, go. And some of it too is just the breed. You know, very like driven and very energetic. But like that's, you know, why we'll be working definitely a little bit more on that, him building that self-discipline and redirecting. Yeah, as you saw in like the one video, and we're kind of outside and he has to kind of focus on me and stay further away and see the other dogs, it's a lot easier. But then when he gets closer to the other dogs and gets more excited, right, it's a lot harder. That was good though. So you kind of see there like how I was explaining kind of Joker's mannerisms to the gentleman even before like he asked to. I asked him how, you know, it was his dog friendly. Just taking a lot of like just initiative, you know. The more often that you do it, the easier it'll be too, because most of the time you'll end up saying the same thing over and over again. So it's just practice and everything else. Boy. Good boy. So while it's a little bit quieter, we'll do some leash exercises. This way, big guy. Joker, with me. Good. Wait. Good. Come. When you're practicing leash work, you want to know, are you working on his verbal cues or are you working on his leash pressure? Good boy. Like right there, I wanted him to go this way. I used a little bit of leash pressure to let him know, Joker, this way. That time, right, verbal cue. Sometimes people will accidentally or, out of habit do both at the same time. Be like, Joker, come, and like pull and call him, right? So you don't know what he's actually responding to. Is he responding to you calling him or is he responding to you pulling him, right? I'll do it a couple more times and then I'll let you practice. Joker, this way. Good boy. Good job, big guy. Good listen. Oh yeah, we gotta get you some more treats too over here. There you go. Good boy. What's that? What's that? Good boy. Very good. Much better. Leash pressure. Good boy. You don't have to use a lot. You actually want to try to use as little as possible so that way he gets more sensitive to it, right? As opposed to always having to give extra force. Leash pressure. Good boy. Good weight. Good job. All right. You ready? And you got it. I'll try to give you some treats for your pockets. So just kind of switch it up. Either use leash pressure or call his name. Any of those things should be a couple different treats for you. I know it's raining treats on you, big guy. And in between, just try to keep the leash nice and loose. And you can give it extra length too if you need. Oh, it's a little pup, right? So if he doesn't listen, go ahead and just walk this way so you can pull him over, right? Because he's too fixated and just on the little one. Hi, how you doing? So in this case, what I would do is I would just keep walking back until it broke his fixation, right? Good boy, there you go. Perfect. So what ends up happening there is you have to kind of break that line of sight to get his attention back, right? Oh, look at good boy, Joker. There you go, good boy. Oh, there's that big square on the bottom is usually a good way to give it to him. There you go. And it's something that we want to work on with him, but we have to be careful about it, because if we're too harsh in correcting him when all he is just interested and excited, and then he gets corrected for it, then you might get him to stop, fixating and pulling, but at the same time you also might, damper his spirit, or build a negative association with dogs. That's where some of the ones that I work with, like when they get rehabilitation work, come into play, because they see another dog and they've always been corrected too harshly for being excited, and now when they see it they get scared, and right, so we want him to redirect, and we want him to calm down, but we don't want to go too over the top on correcting him for it. Good boy. I'll keep walking this way in case they're in the groomers. So there was also another good example, right? So if you're using his name or trying to use verbals, you try it once or twice and it's not working, then just go ahead and physically redirect him, right? Just because the more time that you waste, the more that he gets to fixate on the target, the harder it's gonna be to peel him again from that target.
Okay.
Right. So maybe he sees a dog, you see that he's getting excited, try his name once or something, Joker, this way. If he ignores that, go ahead and just lead him out, right? Just turn him around. And that way you can de-escalate things a lot faster. This will be perfect because now we can kind of walk up to the other dog and work on him getting calming down this way. Right? Because now they're going to be in line. We can control the variables a little bit more. He doesn't even see him yet. Right? There you go. Good boy. Very good. Much better. Much better. Good. Good boy. There you go. Good. Right? There you go. Good. 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 That's why it's important to try to take advantage of those. Hi, how you doing? Sorry, he's friendly.
That's okay.
Good boy. Come on.
Okay. I see.
Right?
Yeah.
You get to kind of take advantage of those situations, but now we control the variables a lot more, so it's easier to practice, as opposed to maybe like rounding a corner or something unexpectedly and there's one there and you're like, you know, trying to put out a fire. What do you think, bud? I would pull him away from the glass so you can't bump it or something too to scare the birds. Even though he is pretty calmly just interested, but you don't want to scare them.
Right.
There you go. This way he can kind of see them, but he can't paw at them or anything. And this is actually another good way that you can practice redirecting him from something that he's interested in. It's not a dog or a person, but it's the same thing, right? He's fixated on something else that's opposite of you, right? Now he's getting excited for it. There you go. Good. So it's taking any kind of those opportunities while you're out socializing with him that you can work with him. Good boy. Good boy. There you go. Your friend's still there, bud. And they seem friendly and interested in meeting him too, you know, so, you know, maybe not now because it might be too late. They're about to check out and leave, but I would probably talk to the dad too. See, it's like, hey, he's friendly if you want to meet. He just gets a little overexcited and things like that. So reading the situation and then, you know, taking initiative is going to be something you'll have to kind of get used to. And like I said, training vests too will help as well. Haven't really needed it too much for him. I might have one that fits him. I've used it on his roommate a couple times. Hi, do you want to say hi? He's friendly if you want to say hi.
Want to say hi to me? Hi.
Oh.
You're so pretty. Oh, strong. You're so cute.
He's like, what's that in your
I
pocket?
know.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Too. Boy.
Okay. I see.
Yeah. We gotta get you social too.
Because the majority of the time when I see people seeing you, they see a different him. So I'm not too sure that, you know, he would be totally react aroused. So I never experienced, I never tried myself.
Yeah. It'll just be something new that you get used to as well.
Okay.
So like I said, the main thing when you're especially reviewing this video is watching his body language and knowing how comfortable he is with the situation. That way you know whether or not to continue approaching, or especially with most people are pretty easy about projecting, like, oh, good looking dog, they're definitely interested in maybe saying hello, or if they're like purposefully going opposite way of you.
So how would you react? Because you don't know what the other dog would react to him. So how would you know?
I would ask the person, like the first guy, if their dog is friendly, and he said, yeah, but she's also shy, right? And I was like, oh, okay, he might be too much for trying to work on that, right? So the only way that I can know outside of reading the other dog's body language, which you would kind of read just like jokers, right? Do they seem like they're kind of ducking away from him, or were they like a little dog that's trying to get at him too, not barking or snarling or anything, but trying to actually get to him, right? So you can read body language of the other dog just like you read it with Joker, but most of the time I just ask the handler, because they're gonna know the dog best. Most of the time they'll either tell you, oh yeah, he's friendly, or yeah, sometimes he can be unsure or snappy of some dogs, things like that. You'll definitely want to to take note and then probably avoid. It's like, oh, okay, if he might get overreactive too if he gets snapped at, so maybe we'll meet another time or something, right? So you take that information that you get from them, and then you make the judgment call.
Okay. This is pretty much like very first time when I see him that get snapped from somebody, and he backed away. That's pretty much the first time I see him backed away from that situation. So
It's good.
this is very happy with him.
Yeah, I mean, he did well with Joey too. It was only because Joey was very like upfront with him. But even then, he was still able to calm down.
Yeah, so usually when that situation happens, he will engage a lot. So that's when that's when the fight happening. So all of that is he's fine, he's fine, everything.
Yeah.
And, okay.
I try to put him in good situations too, though, right?
Okay.
Right. If I know the situation is going to be bad, then I'll probably keep him clear, because I want to keep continuing to build his positive relationship with other people and other dogs. And you do that best by kind of introducing him to the ones that are going to be friendly and nice. Good boy. So I'm gonna buy this for him while I'm here, and then we can head out. Do you have any questions or anything before I start the video?
I'm pretty happy with what he's doing right now.
Yeah, he's doing good.
Yeah.
And there's a little kid over there, so it's good to kind of maintain a good distance, read his body language, see if he's interested, see if he's unsure. Yeah, he's pretty good about projecting things too. Oh, there's the other pup. Hi, pup.
He's doing good with the kids.
Good boy.
There's a little park nearby my house, so I walked in there and he's react normal with the kids.
Joker. Good boy. Good listen. Good listen. You gotta ask her if she wants to say hi. Oh, I dropped it.
Okay.